Okay, so I know right now that there are probably those viewers who are like, he got a level 7. He got a level 7. I don't trust him. Bring some proof. So I'm going to take a snapshot of my progress report and then blur out thingies that I need to blur out and show you that physical sciences section. Ciao.
On the beat. Fools like them.
What is good and what is poppin', my people? It's your boy Imi all up in your screens again, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I am challenging you in this 5 seconds to subscribe and hit the like button so that many people watch my video. And yeah, just that in this 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In this video, I am basically going to be breaking down to you how you can get a level 7 or a distinction in physical sciences, right? And I'm not just doing this video because I've seen people get level 7s in physics. I got a distinction on physics, and I have been, not that I have been consistent, but in term 1 I got a distinction in physics, and then in term 2, you know how it rolls with school, and then in term 3 I got a distinction in physics. So I know how to, I'm basically going to be sharing my story as to how I got this level 7 in physics. What has worked for me might not work for you, or might work for you. So be open-minded when you're watching this video, right? So every good thing, you don't just get up and get a level 7, right? But I don't want you to be discouraged and think I'm going to say no, you have to work hard, you have to work harder. All those things, they do not have to play a huge role in your school life. You get me? Okay, so just a disclaimer, I apologize in advance for any distractions that you might hear in this video, because I am home like emakaya, and we are literally near N2, so there are a lot of cars passing by, and at home there's a lot of livestock, so you're going to hear chickens and all of that. Even whatever distractions that you might encounter, I apologize in advance. So as I was saying, every good thing, you don't just wake up and get a level 7 in physics. No, it doesn't work like that. But I personally did not struggle. I did not go through that ultimate severe struggle saying that, oh, nandingalali, nandisithini. No, it doesn't have to be all about that. That's what worked for me. I did not study up until my brain cracked or whatever. I'm going to be breaking down how the simple means as to how you can attain a distinction in physics, right? So basically, during term 3, when we started term 3, the first thing I did was, when I get into a physics class, you have to, when you get into a physics class, you have to be open-minded. Just clear your mind out first things first. Clear your mind out so that your mind is ready to consume and lock information in. That's the first thing you should do when you get into class. You should just have an open mind, clear out all distractions, clear out everything, and have an open mind that is keen to consuming and locking information in. That is what I did. It works. It literally works like a magnet, because when you do that, it is not really necessary to, I advise it, right? But it's not really necessary to go home and review the information which you had been taught on that day, because you would have locked it in your mind and you will remember it, right? So that's the first thing I did whenever I got into a physics class, and I was consistent with this throughout term 3. The second thing that contributes to this distinction in physics is to know your learning style. I know you've probably heard this every time you're actually watching a like study tips or whatever video, you've probably heard people say you should know your study style, but this is very essential and important, so I'm going to be saying it again. You should know your study style. For example, my learning style is visual learning, right? I like to watch things. I like to watch things happen. That's how I basically lock information in my mind, right? Other people prefer reading, which is, oh my god, I cannot deal with reading, but I do it anyways. But my ultimate learning style is visual learning. Once I see something, once I'm taught live, it literally works the best for me. I also watch YouTube videos. These are small things that contribute to you getting this distinction in physics. You do not need to have extra classes. For example, me, I did not have extra classes for physics. In fact, I did not even have any extra classes for any of my subjects this term, right? So knowing your learning style helps you to not struggle, basically. So as I was saying that, I used to watch YouTube videos. If there is a topic which I did not fully grasp or fully understand, I would go to a YouTube channel called The Organic Chemistry, for example. It really helps a lot when it comes to studying physics, mathematics and all of that. But yes, I would watch YouTube videos whenever I do not have clarity on a certain topic or on a certain subtopic which we were taught. Yes, so what I've just broken down to you, sorry guys. So what I've been talking about is what it starts with. It's basically when you start a new term, these are the things that you should be doing. Now I'm going to be giving you my guide as to how I actually started doing all of this, started working consistently in achieving a level 7 in physics, right? So basically what I did at my school, we wrote our examinations, and then we were given a week before we write the physical sciences exam. So the physical sciences exam was the last exam which we wrote. So there was a week window before we wrote that physical sciences exam, and I had not been studying for physical sciences. I've just been studying for the subjects which I was going to write, right? Now I started studying physics a week before I wrote it. So this window period between the exam that we just wrote and the physical sciences exam which you are going to write. So I studied for a week consistently, and I'm going to be breaking down to you how I did the studying, right? I'm going to be referring to my notes right here. So firstly, I need to give you like this little bitty story time. At my school, when stoichiometry in physics was taught in my class, I was not in class. I was at a competition where in Port Elizabeth. So stoichiometry was the basis of stoichiometry were taught in class dingekhona. And when I came back from PE, I had to cover up for the time that I lost with physics, which I did not, because I was busy studying for subjects which we were going to write before physics, right? Now, what I did is that I was not so clear whatsoever. I was stressing with stoichiometry. I was stressing, like I was running mad because I did not know stoichiometry. Fine. So what I did, I decided on reviewing stoichiometry notes which were given to the learners in my class. So I was like, good friend, I was like, tell her notes, and then I copied her notes, and then I studied them, right? Like I literally reviewed them and then reviewed the classworks which were given to them, right? Now, when I was done with that, what I would do, I have an app for past papers for physical sciences in grade 10, right? I would go to that app. It's called JSTD Solutions, then physical sciences grade 10, right? So I would go to that app and find a question paper and only do a section of stoichiometry in it, right? And then I would practice that past paper, go to the next, do that every single day. I would study stoichiometry notes and then do past papers. I'd study stoichiometry notes and then do past papers, right? Consistently every day, to the point where I was excelling in stoichiometry. Like, I literally, with every question paper I got, I would ace that question paper. I would literally get a total. I would mark myself right with the memo, and I would literally get a total on stoichiometry. So we were also taught waves. I was at school when waves were being taught, right? And then after I was done with stoichiometry, I transitioned from stoichiometry to waves. And then on waves, I did the same thing. I would review notes that we were given by my teacher, and then review the classworks we were given by my teacher, and then proceed to doing past papers on physical sciences in waves. So I would do these past papers on transverse and longitudinal waves, right? And then I would also be good in them. Fine. And then the week was about to end. That week window was about to end, and then on the last 2 days before I write my exam, I would do what? I would cram definitions. So I would not study definitions. I would literally practice past papers and all of those without doing definitions, right? So on that last 2 days before I write my physical sciences exam, I cram definitions, because I mean, it's definitions and I'm very good at cramming. So instead of wasting my time doing definitions, I would study, practice and do all of that, and then on the last 2 days I would cram definitions, and then I would cram definitions until they're finally on this mind, and then we'd be good to go. So on the day of the exam, now I get in class. When I get in class and get my paper, my question paper and my answer sheet, the first thing I do is that I turn over my question paper before opening it. I turn it over, I take a pencil and I write down all the definitions that I've crammed, all the definitions I can remember. I write them down using a pencil, and then if there are some formulas I needed to cram, which are not going to be given in that sheet with formulas, I'm sure we're all given those sheets, right? Yeah, those sheets with formulas. Before looking at them, I'd write down all the formulas which we were taught to know by our minds without looking at them on that formula sheet, right? I would write those formulas, and then that is when I would flip my question paper back and then open it, right? When I open it, I start answering. It's literally that exam tricky thingies, and then you know the exam vibes, guys. And then you see people mungaring their pens. You don't know if you should munga your pen or whatever. And then I start answering my questions, right? And then if there's a definition that I need to define there, and luckily it's a definition that is in my mind, I would answer that definition. If it's a definition that maybe I forgot one word or forgot anything, I would go to those definitions that I wrote and double check if I wrote it correctly, right? And then I would answer my questions, right? And then a thing that I have been struggling with, which I fixed, is that I would literally look at a question paper and then not thoroughly read a question. If I just see a question and then I see that, oh, this question requires me to calculate the number of moles, maybe I would not I would not read the question thoroughly. I would just answer the question, which is wrong because I would lose marks for things that are so easy, things that I would have gotten, but it's just that I did not look clearly or thoroughly at the question and understand it. So in this exam, I actually read my questions thoroughly. I was like, you know what? This is my space, this is my safe space. I'm going to write this question paper and finish it no matter what time I finish it, no matter even if I finish last, I will write this question paper and I will ace it and I will finish it. So I would read the questions thoroughly. That is a thing you should never put, or you should, you know the vibes, you catch my drift. So I would read those questions thoroughly and answer, and then basically that was all. After I'm done writing, another essential thing which you have probably heard from someone, but I will say it again. When you are done writing, review your answers. Check if everything is correct, because you do not know. Maybe there's something maybe there's a mistake which you did. Maybe there is a mistake which you did, but you know how to fix that mistake. So I was like, I reviewed my answers and all of that, and then I saw the mistakes which I did, and then I fixed them. And I was like, thanks God, thanks. If I did not review this question paper, I would have lost 30 marks, right? Now, that was my guide as to how you can get a distinction in physics. So I think a week or 5 days passed, and then I was at school for like a debate session, and then I decided on going and checking my marks, and I got a distinction just like that. You get me? Y'all feel me? So I was like, oh, I would die for you too. Not that I'm bragging, guys, not that I'm flexing. Maybe I am, but I'm not. So this is my story. This is what worked for me. What I did might not work for you, but it might work for you. So you should try it. This is how I got a distinction in physics. On the first term, when I got a distinction rather, I was just practicing past papers. I was not doing all of this. This I just did now. And it literally organizes your life. It organizes your school life. You do not have to feel as if, oh my God, school is on my shoulders. Physics, I need to go home and study. But there are some sacrifices which you are going to have to do. For example, on that week period when I was studying, I would go to school. Normally when I go to school, if there's nothing we're doing, my friends and I, we just zool. We just go around the school and have fun basically. So I had to sacrifice things like those. I would literally say, no guys, Memelani, right now I'm going. So in that week period, we were not taught because, well, teachers were marking, right? They were marking their scripts and all of that. So I was like, guys, from 8 to 10 I'm studying, so I'm not going to be zularing. You can zula if you want, but I'm going to be here. You're going to come back and find me here. And then from 10 to 11 we're going to go and grab some lunch and then zula around the school, and then by 12 I'm going to come back and study from 12 up until 3 p.m. and then I would go home. When I go home, my sister would clean, and then I would literally cook supper, cook dinner, and then fix my life, fix thingies that I need to fix, check messages that I need to check, submit thingies online that I need to submit, and then from like 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. I would be on my study desk studying. You get me? So there are some things that you should sacrifice. Guys, inameva iyahlaba. Yonke into inameva iyahlaba, but you can minimize those mevas. You get me? So guys, thank you so much for viewing this video. Hope you enjoyed it and hope it was helpful to you. Follow me on my social media platforms. It is at @Ika_Imi on Instagram. Do follow me on that platform, and don't forget to like, comment if comment whatever. You could comment green, just comment green on the comment box below if you watched this video up until now, and also give this video a big thumbs up so that many people get to see this video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you do not miss any of this juicy content, and until next time, I'm out.
They suss me out and then they go.